Color guard has departed the field. We're ready to play some baseball. Hi, folks. Mike Hogwood here, along with Jim Darby. Great to have you with us for this Game 2 today, the only game in this division pitting the team from Nebraska, team against Oregon. And Darbs, Oregon, what a win they had over the team from Brooklawn, New Jersey, and Nebraska, heartbreaking loss last night to Hawaii.
Well, that's our storyline here today, Mike, because, how will these teams react to that? Nebraska, heartbreaking loss, but they've come back from adversity before, having to win 2 games in a row in their state championship and the regional championship. On the other hand, Oregon, now they just took down New Jersey, the favorite. Will they be able to keep up that momentum in this game? All right.
Well, Nebraska did play the late game last night, and their order is pretty much the same as it was last night. Let's run it down for you. Leading off is the shortstop, Calvin Rudolph. Jared Rinkin had a heck of a game at the plate last night. We've talked about Nate Millard, what a great catcher he is. Garen Pauling needs to get it going. Ryan Cornell, Dylan Ewer had a couple of hits last night. Colton Bush, he's shown some pop at the DH spot. Drew Gillen and Ryan Beer, the center fielder, will bat ninth. Now here's the defense for Oregon, and they played very well on defense last night. Bryce Rogan in left, and it's Cole Carter, Jared Evans in the outfield. Colton Westfall at short. Micah Brown had a good day at shortstop. Tate Cowden, the second baseman. Eric Carlson at first. Austin Zavala behind the plate, and he'll be catching a guy we saw pitch for an inning last night, and Cody Coggins, who came in and got the save.
He's a good one, Mike. Cody Coggins, what a season he's had. 10-0 during the regular season. In the postseason, 2 wins, a save in the regionals, then a save last night. Throws 88 to 89 on his fastball, throws a curve, slider, change, all 4 for strikes. Really has developed his change this summer. But according to their coaches, they say what he's really good at is that fastball on the inside part of the plate.
Both these teams, Darbs, had double-digit losses during the regular season. 13 for Oregon, 17 for Omaha. If there had been a chink in the armor for Oregon, it had been their defense. But last night, I was really impressed with the way they played defensively.
Well, they made some great plays. They also made a couple plays that were questionable, But, for the most part last night, when they had to make the play, they did.
There you see Greg Geary, the head coach of Omaha. He'll head over to shake the hands of Nate Maben, who is the head coach at Medford, Oregon. Geary will be coaching down at third base. This is a team that had to beat Rapid City, South Dakota twice in the same day to win the regionals in Bismarck, North Dakota, just to get here. He said, they were upset with that loss last night, but he thinks his team has bounced back, ready to go today. Calvin Rudolph, the shortstop, will lead it off. And takes ball 1. Behind the plate is Craig Mills today. At first base umpire Jay DeSantis, John Johnson at second base, and Joe Roca at third. And there's a strike. Last night, Darbs Rudolph was 1 for 4 and scored a run. Had a walk and RBI. We talked about before what a great athlete this young man is. Plays a couple of sports. It's interesting that back in Nebraska, all the kids on this Nebraska team go to the same high school, played at the same high school last year. There's great chemistry amongst this bunch.
Well, that certainly is one of the strong points of their program. They know the tendencies of each other, and they, like you said, Mike, they've been playing together all year.
First time this post 374 has ever been to the American Legion World Series. Ground ball to short. Should be a routine play. Is Micah Brown, the shortstop, fielding cleanly, 1 down. There's Brown, who had the big hit last night that ended up scoring the go-ahead run. Now Coggins will face Jared Rinkin. Rinkin, the third baseman, had himself quite a game last night. He was 2 for 5 with an RBI, and he scored a run. You see, though, he struggled a bit in the regionals. That batting average you see combines the regionals and last night's games.
Well, Mike, when these teams get to the regional tournaments, they're facing some of the best pitching at
this
level of play.
Great point. He hit just 208 in the regionals. Rinkin was just 5 for 24, but last night his bat came to life. Ball and 2 strikes now the count to him from Cody Coggins.
As we mentioned, Coggins got a save last night, coming in the 9th inning with a man on and nobody out to preserve a 1-run victory.
They beat Brooklawn 3-2. The big inning for them was the 7th when Micah Brown hit that triple and Bryce Rogan drove him in. There's ball 4. And with 1 out, Rinkin is aboard. The star of that game, I think, yesterday, though, was their starting pitcher, Jared Reagan. Went 8 innings, was just phenomenal.
Well, as you and I noted yesterday, it was a great performance, Mike, but what made it so great is for the first 8 innings of the game, he never allowed the leadoff runner on base. That was a phenomenal performance.
Now one of the, certainly they consider him the best young catcher in the state of Nebraska. He's first team All-State in high school, Nate Millard. Millard headed to Scottsdale Junior College. I know this, his coach Greg Garrett says he's the best catcher that this Legion team has ever had.
Well, he's a good one to watch, I'll tell you, behind the plate. His movement, the way he blocks pitches, he's quite a catcher.
There's the catcher for Oregon, Austin Zavala. He's pretty good as well. He's got a gun for an arm. Millard at the plate was 2 for 5 in yesterday's game against Hawaii.
Interesting, Millard also, he's a big guy, but he runs pretty well.
Yeah, we saw him get down to first down the line pretty quick last night.
Absolutely.
Runners going, hitting runs on, and the ball is going to get by the second baseman who was breaking to second base. There'll be runners at the corners now for Nebraska, and just 1 out. Boy, the hit and run really paid off then. That could have been a double play, and instead it's runners at the corners.
They played it perfectly, Mike. Nice job of hitting behind the runner by Millard. We're going to take another look at it here. Pitch was away. He went with it. He didn't try to pull it. He did exactly what he's supposed to be there. Now, this is somewhat of a bad decision here by Cowden trying to get that runner over at third. He had no chance to get him, and that could have been a mistake. That might have allowed Millard to get over to second base. But still now, with 1 out, they've got the double play possibility.
And the batter will be Garen Pauly. You look at Tate Cowden. Pauly, the right fielder. He did not have a hit last night. He was 0 for 4. But what a chance here. You'll remember yesterday against Hawaii, Nebraska really threatened in the first inning, and Hawaii made a couple of great defensive plays to only allow a run. But again, Nebraska making some noise in the top of the first inning. Pauly takes downstairs 2-0 as Coggins falls behind here. A couple of errors last night just cost Nebraska big time. Chance now, though. The 2-0. High hopper's going to get a run home. Steps on second to first. Double play. So nothing doing there. We turned the double play, and as you said, they had set it up perfectly. Good defense by Oregon. Medford, Oregon did a great job shutting down Nebraska if they had runners in the corners, less than 2 outs. And here's the lineup they'll send to the plate. Tate Cowden will lead it off again. Jared Evans, the right fielder. Then it's Micah Brown, who had a good night last night. Bryce Rogan. Austin Savala, the catcher. Eric Carlson, first base. Cotton Westfall, the DH. Steen Fredrickson is the DH. Cotton Westfall is the third baseman. And Cole Carter will be playing in center field. Now here's defensively Nebraska. Outfield left to right is Dylan Ewer, Ryan Beer, and Garen Pauly. Jared Rinkin, the third baseman. Calvin Rudolph and Drew Gillen up the middle. Ryan Cornell at first. Nate Millard behind the plate. And really the guy you might say is the ace of this team, Jonah Ulane, will be the pitcher for Nebraska.
Well, like his counterpart Coggins, Ulane's had a very strong postseason. 2-0, 1.15 ERA in 15 2/3 innings pitched. 12 strikeouts, 2 bases on balls. Throws 2-seam fastball, cutter and change. 86 to 88 on the fastball.
Cowden swinging at the first pitch. Tate Cowden, a 5'7", 170-pounder, will be a senior in high school this year. That's lifted to right field. Pauly right there, 1 down.
Mike, it's interesting. You watch these outfielders, so many of them today, unlike the days when you and I were younger, they're all going with that one-handed catch.
It's a lot easier.
No, we used to be taught to use 2 hands.
Yeah, but we're old.
That's true.
We weren't as athletic. Jared Evans, the right fielder, the batter. He is the only player in the top 4 in the lineup that did not have a hit last night for this, or yesterday afternoon for this Oregon team. Evans was 0 for 4. Evans did play well in the regional, 7 for 23. He hit .304 in the 6 regional games. That ball's going to stay fair, and it will be no play. Millard really, Jim Darby had no chance there. That ball just kind of screwed around and just dug into the grass.
Well, it was a jam shot by the pitcher. It just came in right in his hands, and the ball just went out far enough where Millard couldn't get to it in time, nor could Rankin, the third baseman, or Ulane, the pitcher. There you can see it there, just a hopper in a perfect location. Plus, he's got good speed. Evans can run.
I want to make a point as we see Micah Brown stand in, the shortstop. This ground is really hard. It has not rained much at all this summer here. And while the field is in great condition, we saw it on that high hopper in the first inning. We saw it last night. You chop a ball down, and it's going to bounce high here.
It's going to make for some tough plays.
Trying to lay down the bunt, and that's going to roll foul.
Well, that was a good idea by Micah Brown, because the third baseman, Rankin, was playing way back. If that had stayed fair, he had no chance to make a play on it.
Brown, great night last night. He was 2 for 4, and you'll remember in the 7th inning had that triple. Ended up being the winning run. You know, we also may see him pitch some today. One out. Bottom of the first, Jared Evans on at first base. This Oregon team, these guys also play together in the regular season. Nate Maben is the local high school coach who's coaching the Legion team. That is hit to right field, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. Second hit of the inning. And Evans at second, Micah Brown at first base. And the cleanup hitter, Bryce Rogan, is due up.
I thought Pauly might have had a play on that.
I did
Mikey
too.
came in like he was going to try to shoestring it or even dive for it, but then he pulled back at the last second. I thought he might have had a shot at it.
I agree with you totally.
But on the other hand, he might have made the smart play too, because if he dives for that, misses it, it's going to score a run.
2 on, 1 out. Rogan, who had the game-winning RBI last night, at the plate. Left fielder. And takes a called strike. That's unusual. Talk to Nate Maven. He says, you know what? We just don't take many pitches. We get our cuts. And it's been successful. In the regular season, everyone in this starting lineup for this Oregon team hit over 300.
Yeah, interestingly, they don't have a lot of power. They only hit 5 home runs during the entire season. Of course, we don't know the dimensions of their home ballpark either. But they're not a power team, but they certainly put the ball in play.
You saw how well Rogan's done in the regionals, and last night combined over 400.
That last pitch was a changeup, and it was a beauty. I'm impressed with the number of pitches these guys can throw consistently for strikes. And that's what the coaches were telling us before the game. Their repertoires are very good, and they're very consistent with them.
Swing and a miss. 87-mile-an-hour fastball. Gets Rogan down on strikes, and there's 2 outs.
Mike, that was set up by the changeup, because that pitch looked a lot faster than 87 to the hitter. Here's another look at it. He threw it right by him. So that's a nice piece of pitching there by Jonah Ulane.
So it's up to the catcher now with 2 outs, Austin Savala. Takes high, throw down to first. It's going to be, gets away from the first baseman, Ryan Cornell, and that's going to allow Jared Evans to move to third base. So just as Nebraska did in the top of the inning, now Oregon with runners at the corners. That is going to be charged an error to the catcher, allowing Evans to go to third. Off the end of the bat to left field. That is a fair ball. Run will score. Dropped in front of Dylan Ewer and Evans. How big was that throwing error there by the catcher now?
Well, we'll take another look. He might have scored anyway from second on this with 2 outs. He would have been running, but you're right. We might have had a play at the plate. It was just a ball that went off the end of the bat and just happened to find that right side of the left field line.
So Ulane has given up 3 hits. I need to make the point that while Ulane pitched a lot of innings, he pitched more than anybody else on this Nebraska team in the regionals, 15 2/3. He still gave up a number of hits.
Yeah, he did. He gave up 20 hits in those 15 2/3 innings. So it's obvious, you know, teams can see the ball.
That should be playable for Paulie. And is for the 3rd out. But Oregon, here in the bottom of the 1st, gets 3 hits. They score a run. They strand 2. We've played an inning. 1-0 Oregon leads.
So, what's next?
With so many unique experiences and unforgettable places to visit, you ready?
We better get started.
You can't help but vacation big in North Carolina.
All over Cleveland County, such fun to be had. Splash into a lake and all your troubles ain't so bad. Slide into a safe home with the best stuff you can eat. Friendly folk and tasty treats and music you can't beat. All in Cleveland County.
There's music, much more.
Get down to Cleveland County. Down here in Cleveland County, history and lore, it's all in Cleveland County. And tomorrow even more.
Today's games are brought to you in part by Cleveland County Travel and Visitors Bureau, by the American Legion, America's largest veteran organization, and by North Carolina Tourism. The 8 teams here this week have been divided into 2 divisions. This is the Stars division, and you can see that Nebraska had that tough loss to Hawaii. Hawaii and Oregon, the 2 winners yesterday. And if you lose twice, it's going to be tough to make it to the semifinals on Monday.
It's still possible, but yeah, it makes it tough. On the other side, you win your first 2 games and you're in the driver's seat.
Ryan Cornell to lead it off here in the second for Nebraska. And take strike 1. Cornell, the first baseman, of course, involved in that error. We have seen errors for Nebraska really kill them. Two errors last night that were really tough, and then an error here in the first inning on the throw by Millard.
Yeah. Well, like sometimes, you get away with errors, but so far for Nebraska, those errors have been very unfortunate.
Cornell turns on it. Evans makes a couple of steps back almost to the track, but makes the catch 1 down. Well, Evans had a busy day today. Scored the run. And now Ewer. Dylan Ewer, the left fielder. Ewer had a good game against Hawaii. Ewer was 2 for 4, and he scored a run.
I've been very impressed with the way that Coggins keeps the ball down in the zone. He's consistently down.
And that one's across. Good pitch there. Count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Dylan Ewer. Ewer is a rising senior in high school. Matter of fact, this is a really young team. They only have 4 high school graduates on this Nebraska team.
Who graduated this
past year, yeah.
Now, conversely, Oregon's, their 3, 4, 5, and 6 hitters all have a year of college baseball under their belt already.
Like we said, it's old against young here in this game today. And going down on strikes, Dylan Ewer. That is the first strikeout of the game for Cody Coggins.
Here comes a fastball that he just got down and in on Uher, and he couldn't catch up with it. Nice pitch.
We talked about Ulane pitching a lot of innings in the regionals. Coggins did as well. Is now facing the DH, Colton Bush. Coggins went 14 2/3 innings, giving up 9 hits and just 2 runs. And of course came in, pitched an inning last night. Bush at the plate. Very good designated hitter. 1 for 3 last night. Turned on that one, and it is going to go foul.
That was an 0-2 breaking ball. They got a little bit too much of the plate for Cody Coggins. I think he wanted that ball down and away. He hung that one. Got away with it.
Bush at the plate had a tremendous regional. He was the MVP. I mean, he had just sick numbers. 647 he hit. He was 11 for 17 at the plate. Again, had a hit last night, so his hot hitting has continued. Although Coggins ahead now, 0-2. Micah Brown slaps it down and throws to first in time. 3 up, 3 down for Nebraska. And it's still Oregon 1, Nebraska nothing here in the American Legion World Series. Back on a gorgeous day in Shelby, North Carolina. We told you there's 2 divisions, the Stars and the Stripes. Here's the Stripes division and what has happened so far. Now, I got to tell you, the game that has been talked about for 2 days here is what's going to happen tonight in Newberry, South Carolina, taking on the team from Michigan. You don't think this place is going to be rocking and packed tonight? It's going to be something.
It will be, because Newberry's not far from here in Shelby.
Oh, it's only about an hour and a half drive from here. And South Carolina team is a team that has not lost a game all year. Not in the state tournament, not in the regionals, not in the regular season. Colton Westfall, the third baseman's leading it off here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 3 games today. We saw another Stripes division game. First game, Louisiana. Their first appearance here looked pretty impressive to me. Come away with a win over Connecticut.
So far in the American Legion World Series here, we've had 4 games, 3 of them decided by 1 run. Good baseball.
Leadoff runner aboard for Oregon. Well, I'm not going to jinx us by saying how many 1-run games that we've called so far. Steen Fredrickson, the designated hitter, coming to the plate. Steen graduated high school this past year. Right up the middle it goes. Slow roller, steps on second for 1, on to first. Double play. Nice play by the Nebraska shortstop, Calvin Rudolph.
Pitcher's best friend. Here it is again. He jams him, but didn't hit it very well. It was a good jam pitch on a sinker that came in on his hands. And just a tailor-made double play ball hit right to the bag.
You can't hit it much better than that for a double play. I mean, right to the base.
Fredrickson, like I said, he got jammed on that sinker.
Cole Carter, the center fielder, number 9 hitter in the Oregon lineup. Carter trying to get his bat going. Hit to right field. Pauly is there for the catch, and that'll be it. 3 up, 3 down. Nothing doing for the team from Medford, Oregon. Although they scored a run in the first, and that's where we stand right now. Oregon 1, Nebraska nothing.
Throughout its 90-year history, the American Legion has helped millions of youth reach their dreams. Legion baseball alumni have gone on to star in the major leagues, served in public office, and succeed personally and professionally.
For us, playing on that Legion team meant that you were, for little kids, it was like you were almost in the big leagues. You looked at the American Legion guys, and as well as they played, you always wanted to get to that level.
Learn how you can help America's youth in your community. Visit legion.org/baseball.
Scene. Air is fresh, trees are big, water's clear and clean. Kids rides in museums, life's not such a rush. Never find a better place, try some liberal mush. All in Cleveland County.
There's music, mush, and more.
Get down to Cleveland County.
A revolution is in store.
Down here in Cleveland County, history and lore, it's all in Cleveland County. Tomorrow even more.
They move to the third inning now. Darbs, one of the things I like, there's such tremendous history with Legion baseball, and I like in these commercial breaks we get a chance to hear from some folks who have readily admit that playing Legion baseball not only enhanced their baseball careers but their lives as well.
Well, one of those guys certainly is Luis Gonzalez, who we saw. Yeah, he has told me many times. I know him very well. He's told me many times that playing Legion ball was right up there with playing MLB as far as being such a great experience in the game.
What a neat testament to Legion baseball. And there's so many others just like that. Drew Gillen at the plate now for Nebraska to lead it off here in the third inning. It's his first at bat in the game. Gillen, 2 for 2, scored a run, had an RBI. Pretty good night against Hawaii for the Nebraska second baseman.
Speaking of great players in Legion ball, 67 players in the Baseball Hall of Fame today played Legion ball when they were younger.
Well, it's been a part of America's national pastime for many, many years. You're wearing a number 90 on your shirt, signifying 90 years of Legion baseball. There's only a few people like Jim Darby, who remember things from that first year, what it was like.
Thanks, Mike.
No problem. Should be an easy play for Westfall. But back to my point, you just don't see a lot of things last for 90 years. No, and there's got to be a reason that they do. You know,
it's the quality of play. I mean, Legion baseball to a youngster who's 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, there's just no better baseball than that. And that's what brings them all back. And what the American Legion does and what it stands for. I mean, let's face it. I mean, what's better than this?
All these Legion posts, of course, filled by men and women who have served our country. And that really is celebrated not only at this baseball event, but at Legion baseball all across the country all summer long.
It was interesting. Last year in 2014, 5 men went into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Bobby Cox, Tom Glavine, Tony La Russa, Greg Maddux, and Joe Torre. What was the common denominator?
American Legion.
You got that right.
Rudolph at the plate. Turned on that one, but it is going foul. Down into the bullpen. Rudolph grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Look, there it is, the notable Legion in the Hall of Fame.
Well, those are just a few of the notables. I mean, it's like I said, 67 individuals in the Hall of Fame. And well, look at those names, Mike.
George Brett, Bob Feller,
Ted the Kid. There he is.
Greg Maddux, who was one of my favorite pitchers.
Now, he couldn't paint outside
he
corner
put it wherever
he
wanted to put it. And that's what actually Cody Collins has done to this at bat. He's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Rudolph. Ground ball. Play is made. That is now 7 in a row that Coggins has retired. And his Oregon team is up 1-0.
So, what's next?
With so many unique experiences and unforgettable places to visit, you ready?
We better get started.
You can't help but vacation big in North Carolina.
Throughout its 90-year history, the American Legion has helped millions of youth reach their dreams. Legion baseball alumni have gone on to star in the major leagues, served in public office, and succeed personally and professionally.
To me, American Legion Baseball will help me out to get ready for the next season, to take my game to the next level, because I was able to play with so many, great athletes.
Learn how you can help America's youth in your community. Visit legion.org/baseball.
Today's games are brought to you in part by the American Legion, America's largest veteran organization, and by the Cleveland County Travel and Visitors Bureau, and by North Carolina Tourism. It's a warm day here in Shelby, North Carolina. Not too much of a breeze. But I tell you what, the concessions doing a booming business. I can tell that for sure because in game one I was there often. But folks have come here and no matter what the weather, the heat or whatever, they are here in support of this great event in Shelby. The community has really, really adopted it. Leadoff hit. That's the leadoff hitter, Tate Cowden, here in the bottom of the third inning, and Oregon's done a good job getting their leadoff hitter on.
Well, that was a nice piece of hitting by Cowden. Took a fastball away, didn't try to do anything with it other than just go with the pitch and punch it into right field.
Top of this order has really been good for Medford, Oregon. Jared Evans, the batter, he had a base hit. Scored a run in the first inning. 4 hits on the board now for this Medford, Oregon team. Trying to move him over. They took a look at second, but had to go to first, did the third baseman, Jared Rinkin.
I think if Redkin had gone to second, Mike, he could have had him. Took the look, wanted to get the sure out. I can understand that. Here we look at it again. You can see it. Has the ball there. You can't quite see the runner, but I do think had he turned and thrown to second, he might have had it.
And another example of how hard this field is. That ball just does not die. With a hard field, the bunt went a little harder than Evans wanted it to. Micah Brown now with an opportunity, the Medford shortstop. He also had a base hit in the first inning, having himself quite a series.
Good fastball on the inside there. Again, both these coaches told us that one of the strengths of these two pitchers, their ability to throw the fastball on the inside part of the plate.
Micah Brown now 3 for 5 in this World Series. What another pitch inside. Frozen.
Well, he set him up with that pitch before. The fastball that came running in. Now the breaking ball that froze Micah Brown. Oh, I love his repertoire. I really do. This is very impressive.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The count to Micah Brown. As Tate Cowden stands down at second base. Ball way outside. Good stop by Nate Millard, the Nebraska catcher.
Well, he threw 3 inside, then it went away. Now he's in a good position here to come back inside again.
Counts full. Ball 4. 1 out, runners at first and second.
Well, I'm sure he didn't want to walk him there, but that's not the worst thing. Now he sets up the double play.
Second walk of the game issued by Jonah Ulane. And the batter will be Bryce Rogan. Rogan struck out his first time up. You were right, Darbs. Ulane is painting those corners. That on the outside corner, called strike one. He's throwing BBs now. 0-2.
Well, that last pitch at 85, right on that outside corner.
Rogan hit .418 during the regular season. Did not have a home run, even though he hits cleanup.
You know, like we said at the top of the program, they've only had 5 all year, so they don't have a lot of power. But like we also stated, they put the ball in play and make the defense work.
Yeah, Rogan did lead the team in RBIs in the regular season. Had 60. That's hit the left field, but right at Ewer. Second out of the inning. Oregon's had base runners today, but have only gotten 1 run home. Austin Zavala, the catcher, has one of the 4 hits for Oregon today. Zavala, as you can see, is hitting over 300 in the regionals and combining last night's plate appearances. Zavala did not have a hit last night. Got his first hit of the series today.
And he had a good rip at that pitch. It was out over the plate. Just wasn't able to quite catch up with it.
Zavala is one of those players who, coming off a freshman year in college.
Nice changeup right there. Good off-speed pitch.
2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hit him. So Ulane, for the most part, has shown decent control, but he has walked 2, and then he hits Zavala to load the bases.
Well, you know, Mike, it's a fine line right there. I like what he was trying to do there, because he had just thrown him a changeup. Then he was coming back with a fastball in, and it just got a little bit too far in. Again, there's that fine line. I like that choice of pitch, though.
Now Eric Carlson, don't let that 188 fool you. He hit well over 300 in the regular season. He had a base hit last night. He was 1 for 3. Just didn't have a great regional in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Interesting, Mike. Ewer, the left fielder, is over towards the line and way in, and there's a huge gap in left center. If he can drive one there, that'll score 3 runs.
Big opportunity for Carlson, and I'm going to dispute that number we saw. He was 375 in the regionals last week, so he is swinging a hot bat. Right to the third baseman. He'll get to the bag in time, and Oregon leaves the bases loaded. Nebraska gets out of it again. We go to the bottom of the third. 1-0, Oregon leads. You know what I like? I like those rocking chairs. I don't know what you have to do to get it sit in one, Darbs.
Well, like
but
I
that's
told
a great way to watch a game, isn't it?
Like I mentioned to you yesterday when we saw, how come we don't get one?
I think that's an expensive ticket. I really do.
Oh yeah, that's Bob Euchre's front row.
I think that's a high dollar seat right there. Not a bad way to watch the game.
Absolutely.
Here's how fortunate Nebraska has been. We've only played 3 innings. Oregon has already stranded 5 runners. So Nebraska has survived that. Now they'll try to get some offense going against Cody Coggins. Jared Rinkin will lead it off. He walked in the first inning, Rinkin did, got stranded at third base. Both these pitchers have shown us some good stuff. That might get in the gap. Oh, what a catch. What a nice play by the Oregon left fielder, Bryce Rogan. That time I don't think he had any choice but to one-hand catch it.
Well, I didn't think he was going to get to it to begin with, and then he almost overran it. The ball kept tailing away to me. See, now the ball goes off a little bit off the end of the bat, and it was starting to fade over that way. He almost overran it, but made a real nice running one-hand catch.
And let's make this point again. Defense may have been their Achilles heel earlier in the season. Not now. They've been pretty solid defensively, and we got to look at another good defensive play. Nate Millard, the catcher, the batter now. And Millard, that's a foul ball.
I'll tell you, as for the pitcher, Coggins, that's when you see a guy make a play like that to get the first out of the inning, the leadoff hitter, you don't realize the relief that gives that pitcher and the boost it gives him.
Millard, dangerous hitter. Had a base hit in the first inning. Millard hit .292 in the regionals and 2 for 5 last night. Breaking ball, and it stays in play. And the catch made by Eric Carlson. Darbs Coggins now has retired 9 Nebraska batters in a row.
He's certainly in a good rhythm, and part of the reason he's in that rhythm, Mike, is because he's getting first pitch strikes.
As he did there. Garen Pauly, the batter, 6'4". I understand he's an outstanding basketball player. Ball down in the dirt. That number you saw for Pauly way below the Mendoza line was legit. He was just 3 for 23 in the regionals. 0 for 4 last night. Ground ball to second. Got him. That is 10 in a row now that Cody Coggins has set down. He is in a groove. And his Oregon team has a 1-0 lead. Shelby has been the home of the American Legion World Series now for 5 consecutive years, and this is a gorgeous ballpark. Keeter Stadium, Veterans Field. Shelby High School plays here. I dare say it's the best high school stadium in the country.
No doubt.
You know, and you look at the seats, they had 7,800 people in here last night. And tonight for that game against South Carolina and Michigan, as we say down here in the South, Darbs, you're not going to be able to stir them with a stick.
I'm sure it's going to be packed here tonight, Mike. And 2 good teams, too.
But it just goes on to show you what Shelby does. Westfall grounds to third. First out of the inning.
By the way, partner, you mentioned last inning before the inning ended, you mentioned the Mendoza line. You know where that came from?
All I know is it's below 200.
It is, but it was coined by none other than George Brett. And he coined that for the old shortstop from the Seattle Mariners, Mario Mendoza.
Trivia from Jim Darby. I like it.
So
I like it a lot.
Next time you hear it, you can thank George Brett.
All right.
Another Legion Hall of Famer, by the way.
I have some George Brett stories. Unfortunately, I can't tell them. Kansas City, my first job in television was in Fort Myers, Florida, where it was the spring training home of George Brett's Royals band in. On a nice catch in center field, Ryan Beer. That ball was dying in a hurry, and Beer had to really go get it.
Well, Coach Nate Maven told us that, or excuse me, Coach Gary told us that Beer had great speed, and there's a great example of it here. Whoa, what a great grab. Terrific effort by Beer, and that's out number 2.
Now the batter is Cole Carter. Carter is 0 for 5 in the World Series, 0 for 4 last night, and flew out to right field in his first at bat here. Oregon's got 4 hits, but they've only been able to muster 1 run. They have left 5 runners on. Last inning, they left the bases loaded. And Ulane falls behind 3-0. There are 2 out. Ground ball foul. This Oregon team has, it's a good thing they like each other. They have been on the road now for almost a month. They played the state championships in Eugene. They went right from there to Cheyenne, Wyoming, and from Cheyenne they came earlier this week here to Shelby.
I bet if you asked them, though, they won't complain about it.
And that is a called strike 3. 3 up and 3 down in the inning, and the second strikeout of the game for Jordan Ulane. And there are some Nebraska folks here who like it. This guy can pitch. 1-0 our score. There are times when I wish the technology we had would allow us to have smell vision. because you can smell it here in the booth. The burgers they're cooking, the liver mush.
Oh.
The liver mush is famous here at Keeter Stadium in Shelby.
Partner, I'm still waiting for you to explain to me what that is.
I'm not going to tell you what's in it. You just have to eat it and trust and enjoy it.
Do you pretend it's a hamburger?
I don't pretend it's anything. You just eat it. It tastes good.
Well, I can tell you,
but
fans.
You just don't want to think about what might be.
I can tell you, fans, it smells good.
Ryan Cornell stands in. Cody Coggins, number 17, has been phenomenal. Allowed just one hit and has retired 10 batters in a row. Ryan Cornell, his nickname is Corny. Which leads to all kinds of possibilities. Only painted that outside corner, ball and 2 strikes. Cornell, who did graduate from high school this past year, headed to Cloud County Community College. One, two, got him, set him down. That's 11 in a row now.
Well, he set him up there. Coggins to Cornell, 3 fastballs, followed with a breaking ball. There's another look. AC Cornell just out in front of it, fooled him for the strikeout.
His second strikeout of the game. Ewer, ground ball to short. Darbs, you were a pitcher and a pitching coach. There is something to be said to getting in a groove, which Coggins is in right now. I mean, Nebraska can just do nothing with him, but he is pitching with all kinds of confidence.
I'll tell you, Mike. Well, there's a couple things here. One, he works quickly, which is really good, and he's around the plate. The other thing, what this does, Mike, is it's for the infielders, it's heaven, because they're not back on their heels waiting ball after ball after ball. So they're expecting the ball to be hit to them on every pitch, which makes them better infielders. So he's really doing a good job controlling the game.
I'll say. Colton Bush grounded out to short his first time up, popped that one up. Pitcher calls for it. Coggins rolls again. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 up, 3 down innings in a row. What an amazing performance we're seeing.
So, what's next?
With so many unique experiences and unforgettable places to visit, you ready?
We better get started.
You can't help but vacation big in North Carolina.
Lots of places have made history. And in Cleveland County, we've made our fair share. The difference is, we're still making it. With a strong economic development partnership, some of the best businesses in America are proud to call Cleveland County home. In Cleveland County, businesses make history every day, and tomorrow, even more.
Today's games are brought to you in part by North Carolina Tourism, by the American Legion, America's largest veteran organization, and by Cleveland County Travel and Visitors Bureau. We're seeing an outstanding job done by 2 pitchers here today. Jonah Ulane and Cody Coggins. Coggins has retired 13 in a row, and that one run scored by Oregon in the first inning is looming pretty large.
Well, the way Coggins is pitching, you're right.
For Medford, Oregon, it'll be the top of the order here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Tate Cowden. Cowden's 1 for 2. Had a base hit his last time up. He also flew out to right field. Ulane, who has walked a couple and has hit a batter. Other than that, has shown pretty good control. There's that high hopper. It's going to take a long throw. Got him! Oh, my, what a play by Jared Rankin. He's made some nice plays in this series, but there we saw that hard ground and the ball, the high hop. He had to throw that a long way.
Well, Rankin had to go way up to get this one and then plan to make a strong throw. Close play. Just got him. There's another look. Look how high he got there. And he had to throw it. He couldn't get everything into it, but he made a good, accurate one-hop throw.
And just did get him. And the shortstop, Calvin Rudolph, makes the play, and there's 2 down.
One thing about that Rankin throw that I want to talk about is the fact that he didn't try to air it to him. He threw the one hopper, which if he had tried to throw it all the way on the fly, he would have never gotten him. Great play by the third baseman.
We've seen some good defensive plays in this series. Micah Brown now turns on it. Left fielder going back, and at the track, Dylan Ewer makes the catch for the third out of the inning. Nothing doing for Oregon here in the fifth, and we move to the sixth. Still 1-0.
Throughout its 90-year history, the American Legion has helped millions of youth reach their dreams. Legion baseball alumni have gone on to star in the major leagues, served in public office, and succeed personally and professionally.
Really gave me a slingshot to, advance my skills early on in my career and help me become a better player for my later years.
Learn how you can help America's youth in your community. Visit legion.org/baseball.
Down in Cleveland County, there's history in store, a revolutionary place of patriotic lore. Businesses, they come here, they like it and they stay, doing commerce in a revolutionary way. Down here in Cleveland County,
Life here gives you more.
all in Cleveland County.
The Revolutionary War.
Down here in Cleveland County, history and lore, it's all in Cleveland County, and tomorrow even more.
Yeah, we're doing the chicken dance in Cleveland County here this afternoon.
One of them is.
You should see Darbs do. If you want a sight, see Darbs do the chicken dance. It's a fun thing to watch.
Well, there was another word you should have put in there, a bad sight. It's not just a sight, it's a bad sight. But there she is, look at her. He didn't look too happy about it though, Mike.
Now that's my speed right there. That's my chicken dance.
He's like, what are you doing? These folks are having fun out here, Mike.
So are we. And on the scoreboard, a lot of goose eggs right now, as we've seen some excellent pitching, particularly from this man, Cody Coggins. Lifted to center field. Carter makes the catch. That's now 14 in a row by my count.
Pitchers have many friends, partner, but one of them not much better than the first pitch of an inning getting an out.
4 consecutive 3-up, 3-down innings by Cody Coggins. And a lot of things can happen in baseball, but so far, this is the best pitching performance we have seen here in Shelby this week.
Well, like we said earlier, he's just in total control of the game. And that's what a good pitcher does.
Ryan Beer grounded to third, his first time up. .14 in a row. Coggins is sat out. 2 balls and a strike that count to the number 9 hitter in the order for Nebraska, the center fielder, Ryan Beer.
Good tailing fastball right on the inside, sinking down into that right-handed hitter. Wouldn't be surprised to see a curveball here away.
Grounded foul. Beer struggled a little bit in the regionals. He was 3 for 21 in the regionals, 0 for 2 last night, 0 for 1. So just 3 hits over the last couple of weeks. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Well, that was set up beautifully by Coggins. He was thrown through a fastball for strike 2, then came with the breaking ball, off-speed pitch, then right back with the heater.
Could it be 5 straight 3 up, 3 down innings? Rudolph. You know, you get the feeling that Nebraska just needs a base runner some way, somehow, to interrupt this rhythm by Coggins. There's that curveball, 63 miles an hour across for a strike.
Well, it's tough to do when you have a pitcher like this who is changing speeds for strikes. Now he's thrown him 2 breaking balls. Look for a fastball or the sinker in on this next pitch.
You can see the confidence on his face.
Well, there it was.
82 miles an hour, looked like 92.
Well, and again, that's what a 63-mile-an-hour curveball does. You know, you think to yourself, 83, 84 isn't that fast until you've had to see 63-mile-an-hour curveballs. So all of a sudden now it looks really fast.
Coggins ahead, a ball and 2 strikes. Called strike 3. Oh, what a performance by Cody Coggins. 5 straight, 3 up, 3 down innings. He's only allowed 1 hit today, and his Oregon team leads it 1-0. 5 strikeouts for Coggins on the day. Old-fashioned pitcher's duel going on here in Shelby today. Oregon with that 1 run in the first inning. The only scratch by either team. Bryce Rogan will lead it off. He's 0 for 2 today. You know, we talk so much about Coggins. Jonah Ulane is, we were talking about this a moment ago, has really done a great job keeping his team in it. Even though they've only had 2 base runners in the game, it's still just a 1-0 game. And you and I have both been about baseball long enough to know that 1-0 means not a whole lot.
One swing can change, obviously. Absolutely. Tie the game. And
Rogan, that's going to go foul.
So as dominating as Coggins' performance has been, you have to tip your hat to Ulane. He's keeping his club in the game just, with another fine performance on his end.
Well, this is a Omaha team that doesn't know how to give up, I'll tell you that. What they did in Bismarck, North Dakota to beat Rapid City, South Dakota twice in the same day to earn the right to get here was something special. You can see again how that ball bounces so high. This ground is really, really hard. Rudolph makes the play, one down.
That was a tougher play than Rudolph would let on because the ball did come up on him.
And obviously these fielders now who've played for a day or two understand that this infield is extremely hard, and that ball is going to bounce up in the air. Austin Savala, the batter.
That's a good point, partner, because you realize until yesterday, their first game, they had never taken infield on this field.
And some other parts of the country have had a little more rain than we've had here this summer. It's been a dry summer in Cleveland County. Called strike three, good pitch.
Well, as he's been doing all game, Jonah Ulane is using both sides of the plate, came right back after the breaking ball. Look at that fastball. Well, that was a breaking ball there that he fouled off. Then the strikeout pitch was a fastball that, came right in on the inside corner. Great piece of pitching.
Eric Carlson will be the batter. How about this, Darbs? Jonah Ulane's now retired 9 in a row. It's been a while since we've seen a base runner for either side.
Well, for the fans watching this game, particularly in Medford, Oregon and Omaha, Nebraska, you're seeing an outstanding performance by both of your pitchers.
By the way, we'd like to say hi to all those folks. And the players and coaches told us that a lot of you back home watching your team today from Nebraska, a lot of you have gathered together, and a lot of you in Oregon are watching as well. Well, we're glad to have you with us. Wish you were here, but we'll try to give you the next best thing. There is a base hit. A 2-out hit by Eric Carlson. Boy, it's been a while since we've seen a base runner.
That is correct. No, he did a good job with that pitch. That was a fastball away, and again, he didn't try to do too much with it. Just punched it to where the pitch was, dropped it over the second baseman's head into right center field.
Colton Westfall, the batter now. He walked in the second inning and grounded out to third base his last time up. Boy, the way Coggins is pitching, another run would be just huge for Oregon. Got away from Ulane a little bit there.
A little bit of a message pitch, just in the sense that he started him out with a breaking ball for a strike, and now that fastball could set up another breaking ball here.
Talk like you've pitched before.
Well, I'll tell you, they're so consistent with what they're doing. It's easy to see. I mean, they're throwing all those pitches for strikes. It's easy to call.
1-2 the count.
Now he had him set up for the fastball. That was a good pitch there. Just didn't get it quite where he wanted it. But both of these pitchers, and of course you got to give the catchers and the pitching coaches credit here too, because they're calling the pitches.
Ground ball, that's foul.
One of the things we've said is how much both these teams have played together. Well, from a pitching coach's standpoint, when you're calling pitches to your catch, when you've coached them this much, you really get a confidence going in what you're calling.
Ground ball, that's going to get by the third baseman Rankin. Second consecutive hit. 2 outs and runners at first and second now as Carlson moves to second. And a good piece of hitting by Colton Westfall.
You know, Mike, on that play, it looked like Rankin came up a little early. I think he thought the ball was going to come up a little bit, and it just went under his glove.
Steen Fredrickson with a big opportunity now. The designated hitter. He's grounded into a double play. Flown out to center field. But a big chance for him. Talked to Nate Nabin about Steen Fredrickson and said, you know what, this guy is just tough at the plate. He is simply what we call a tough out. Was 2 for 3 yesterday against New Jersey. Well, a base hit here would possibly get an insurance run in. That is going to be caught. Nice play by Drew Gillen, the Nebraska second baseman, and Oregon has stranded a lot of runners today. Strand 2 more off the good defensive play by the Nebraska second baseman. The score stays 1-0 Oregon. Hero of the game so far, Cody Coggins of Oregon, and he's holding on to a 1-0 lead. That one run came in the first inning. Jaron Evans was aboard with a base hit. He moved to third, and then Micah Brown was able to knock him in 1-0. And then, Darbs, it has been all Cody Coggins.
One after another. Balls away, in. He's just, slow speeds, fastballs. He's just had them off balance the entire game, Mike. And you can see each one. He's not over the middle of the plate. He's using the corners effectively. He's just been dominant so far.
Nebraska has had 2 base runners today. They came in the first inning. Jared Rinkin walked. Nate Millard had a base hit. And then Paulie hit into a double play. Since then, it has been all Coggins. 5 consecutive 3-up, 3-down innings. 16 batters in a row have been retired. Rinkin will lead it off.
And here is another sign of why he has been so dominant. Leadoff hitter, he gets ahead 0-2.
Well, he hit him, and there the streak ends. Leadoff hitter is on, and that represents the tying run. And as we have said, it's a 9-inning game.
Well,
and 1-0 is obviously not a lot.
The pitch just got away from him, and it was a breaking ball that just came inside. And all Rankin had to do was just turn the shoulder in, and it hit him.
That is the first base runner since the first inning. 16 in a row were retired before Rinkin got hit by a pitch. And the only hit today off the bat of this man, Nate Millard. He's going to try to bunt the runner over. It's a good bunt. Does the job. And Rinkin down to second base off the sacrifice bunt.
Mike, I've stated in the games you and I have done together that I'm not a big fan of the sacrifice bunt. In this situation, I think it was the right move because they just have not had runners. They've got to get that runner into scoring position to have any chance. So I think that was the right call.
And the batter is Garen Pauly, who has really been struggling lately. He's 0 for 6 here in Shelby. 0 for 2 today. Pauly in the regionals 3 for 23. So in the regionals to today, he is just 3 for 29. But boy, they could use him breaking out right here. 1 out. Tying run at second. And Coggins is ahead, 0-2.
Well, after that high fastball that Pauly couldn't catch up with, look for the breaking ball down in the dirt here. Away. Oh, and Coggins got away with one there. That was the curveball, but he opened up too soon. The arm dragged, and he hung it. He's lucky he got away with that. So the cat and mouse game continues here.
Fastball misses 1-2. Rinkin at second base there, number 10, represents the tying run in this game. And we're getting late. We're in the 7th. Coggins has just thrown 78 pitches. Oh, nice pitch.
That was a two-seam fastball that just literally sunk. Yeah, tough. Watch this here, Mike. Turns it over. Look at the sink on that pitch. Boy, that was beautiful.
5 strikeouts today for Cody Coggins. And I don't believe he's walked anybody. Has 1 walk. Well, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. Pretty good ratio. Ryan Cornell, the batter. He's 0 for 2. He's flown out to right field. He struck out his last time up.
One thing to note, that 5 innings in a row, Coggins never had to pitch from the stretch. This is the first time that he had to go back into it. So
good point.
We'll see if he can get out of this inning.
Looked pretty good with that strikeout pitch to Pauly. Falls behind 2-0. That is something we haven't said a whole lot this afternoon about Coggins.
No, he hasn't had too many 2-0 or 3-1 counts. He does have an open base here, though. He doesn't have to give in to him.
I would imagine Cornell will be taking all the way on this pitch.
Well, I'm not sure. If I were the third base coach, I'd give him the green light here, hoping that he'd get just a hit-me fastball.
Well, I was right, but it was ball 4.
We'll never know, will we?
Oh, my goodness. Dylan Ewer, the batter. Nate Maben, the head coach, going to come out and have a word with his pitcher, who has hit a batter and walked one after retiring 16 in a row.
I think he's just out there telling Cody Coggins, hey, you got 2 outs. You just need to get an out to get out of the inning. Just give him a breather. One thing we have to keep in mind, Mike, is that Coggins did also pitch last night. He did pitch that inning.
These kids are young, though, and I think they'd tell you, especially with the adrenaline of being in the World Series, going to bother him. First pitch strike to Dylan Ewer. 2 down, 2 on. Nebraska's best chance to get a run here in the top of the 7th. Their best chance since the first inning. Oh, good pitch.
There's that sinker again that they just swing over.
It really does drop off.
And
My goodness.
He gets tremendous movement on that pitch.
Slow roller is going to have to hurry. Does, and in plenty of time. Nice play by Tate Cowden. Nebraska still with just 1 hit. They strand 2 in the top of the 7th. Oregon still leads as we stand up to stretch.
Throughout its 90-year history, the American Legion has helped millions of youth reach their dreams. Legion baseball alumni have gone on to star in the major leagues, served in public office, and succeed personally and professionally.
I mean, it's great. I mean, Legion ball for me was huge. It got me from an average baseball player to being the player that I am today.
Learn how you can help America's youth in your community. Visit legion.org/baseball.
On out in Cleveland County, so much to be seen. Air is fresh, trees are big, water's clear and clean. Kids rides in museums, life's not such a rush. Never find a better place, try some liver mush. All in Cleveland County.
There's music, mush, and more.
It's down to Cleveland County.
A revolution is in store.
Down here in Cleveland County, history and lore. It's all in Cleveland County. Tomorrow even more.
We move to the bottom of the 7th, and a statue there to remind us that what the American Legion stands for and the men and women who have put on a uniform which the Legion celebrates. Jonah Ulane has gone all the way. And I don't want to build drama where maybe there shouldn't be, but Darbs, you noticed it. I didn't notice it, that Coggins, as well as he's pitched, he was flinching his arm a little bit.
Well, I noticed in the warm-up pitches before last inning, he threw a couple of warm-up tosses, and in both times he looked down at his elbow. And, hey, it could mean nothing, but they've also got action down in the Oregon bullpen.
And that's Colton Bush, who hits one on the nose right at the center fielder. Or pardon me, that is Cole Carter who hits it to the center fielder. Ryan Beer. Now looking down at that bullpen, you would not think somebody would get up to loosen up when your starter's only allowed 1 hit, well under 100 pitches, and has been pitching the way that he has. Maybe there wasn't something to what you saw. Top of the order, Tate Cowden is at the plate, and
well, like
so I don't want to build this up something, but there would absolutely be no reason for there to be activity down in that bullpen unless there was something going on with Coggins. Because it's a 1-0 game, and it's not like you're going to try to save him for another day. You need to win here. Pitch way outside. Cowden just did get a bat on it. No balls, 2 strikes. So we'll have to see. They've got 2 pitchers warming up down there. Rinkton. Oh, and the throw gets away. Rinkin's throw is high, and on the error, Cowden will go to second base. It is those kind of plays that have killed Nebraska.
Well, you could see it coming. The way he threw it, he just flipped it, like almost sidearmed it nonchalantly. Now watch this. He didn't stay on top of it, and the ball just airmailed on him. I know he'd like to have that one back.
One out and a big opportunity here for Oregon. Left field. Play is made by Ewer. Darbs, one of those pitchers that was warming up down there was the shortstop, Micah Brown, who's now got to run in really hard because he's got a hit. He sprinted from the bullpen all the way down to the dugout to grab a bat because he, in all likelihood, would be the pitcher. So he's got to take a moment now to grab his breath. There's another pitcher warming up, but Brown was loosening up, and I think it was one of those things that somebody ran and shouted at him, "Hey, Micah, you're up." And he's standing down there thinking, oh my goodness.
Well, it's common for American Legion play. These are such great athletes. Many of them do play dual positions.
And obviously he couldn't warm up during an inning because he's playing shortstop.
That was a nice changeup right there. He didn't get the called strike, but Jonah Ulane just threw a real good changeup, which would set up this next pitch now.
Take Cowden down at second base. 2 outs. Boy, Oregon would love to have another run. Just missed. Called strike evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Micah Brown, who knows, we might see on the mound the next inning.
That was the pitch Jonah Ulane wanted. He had him set up for that fastball. It just got up a little bit too high.
You can see his pitch count's getting up a little bit. This will be his 95th pitch of the game. To left field. That is off the wall. And it is a stand-up double, ground rule double. Micah Brown has been the hitting star of this series so far for Oregon. The big triple last night in the 7th inning. And here in the 7th, a double that knocks in the second run of the game. Wow.
Well, like they did yesterday, Mike, the error came back to haunt him. Now, here was a fastball that he just got on the inside part of the plate. Micah Brown just turned on it and drilled it over the left fielder's head. And here comes the second run for Medford. So, like we stated, the errors have really haunted Nebraska in this series.
2 today. The big one, Cowden, who looked like he'd hit into a routine ground ball, but the throw was high. He ended up at second base, and then that double by Micah Brown. Rogan is the batter. He had the game-winning RBI last night. Bryce Rogan, the left fielder. Well, I tell you what, it's getting a 2-run lead. It's huge for Oregon.
Well, for many reasons, one of which is now this may change what they're thinking about on the pitching.
Ball 4. And right at 100 pitches. Jonah Ulane may be tiring just a little bit. They're headed down to the bullpen there to get loose. As Zavala, the catcher, will be the batter for Medford, Oregon. Ulane was the star of the regionals when this Nebraska team had to beat South Dakota 2 times on the final day. He won the first game, and he came back. As we said, he pitched a lot of innings in that regional. They wanted to give him an extra day's rest, which is why he pitched today. But at 100 pitches, Darbs, you got to wonder, he might be starting to tire just a little bit.
Yeah, he's probably tiring a little bit, Mike. And that's, Mike Cross, the pitching coach, is out there. One, just telling him, hey, catch your breath, but he's also giving that bullpen a chance to warm up.
That's when the pitching coach, which you were one once, makes the slow walk to and from the mound.
Well, normally the pitching coach isn't going to be the one to go out to make the change.
Right.
So these out there, telling him, basically catch your breath, might give him a little advice, but also to give, like I said, the pitcher in the bullpen a chance to get heated up.
7 hits today for Oregon, and Zavala has one of them. Struck out, caught looking his last time up, though. Also been hit by a pitch. Lifted to the right. That might be trouble. It's going to fall in. Another run will score. That ball just had eyes on it. Base hit, RBI, Austin Zavala. Another run scores, and it's 3-0.
Well, certainly not a hard hit ball, but it had the right spot on it. Just right over first base into that right field corner. The right fielder, Pauly, had no chance at it. Here you can see it's just off the outside part of the plate. And was in the right place to drive in that run.
Eric Carlson, the batter. The wheels coming off a little bit for the Nebraska pitcher, Jonah Ulane.
Well, this is where he's got to bow his neck and say, look, we're down 3 runs. We can't afford to be down any more than this. I've got to get this out.
Jake Barica is warming up for Nebraska. Runners are at the corners. That catch is made, 3rd out of the inning, but 2 across here in the bottom of the 7th. Little insurance for Oregon. We head to the 8th, 3-0 Oregon leads. Well, I tell you what, nobody loves those 2 runs more than that man, Cody Coggins, who is back out, so that arm must be okay. 3-0 lead now, and that's a much different feeling for a pitcher, isn't it?
Well, it is. It gives him a chance to now relax a little bit. On one hand, on the other hand, when you only have a 1-0 lead, you have to stay focused. So one of the things that occasionally will happen with a young pitcher, Mike, is tight game, tight game, tight game. Then they get a couple of runs and they relax. Well, when they relax, they lose a little bit of that, competitive edge. So we'll see how this might affect Cody Coggins, although with the way that he's performed here, I can't see that happening to him. He's just been totally outstanding.
In the 7th, he hit a batter and walked one. Those were the first base runners since the first inning. He has allowed just one hit today. And if you're wondering, when you get to this point of the game and somebody's got one hit, you want to think, okay, what kind of hit? What? That was a legitimate hit by Nate Millard in the first inning. Bush to lead it off. Colton Bush, the DH. He is 0 for 2 today. Which the only one who isn't 0 for is Nate Millard. This has been the most dominating pitching performance we have seen in the American Legion World Series here in Shelby so far.
And that says a lot because we've seen some real good performances.
Absolutely. 2-1.
Won by his teammate yesterday.
And Jordan Reagan, who went 8 innings. Well, let's think a little bit more big picture here, Darbs. I mean, this is an Oregon team that beat really what you would say was the series favorite, Brooklawn, New Jersey, the 2-time defending champions coming in here. A huge win yesterday. Should they hold on and win today, they will really be in the driver's seat to get to the semifinals on Monday.
Absolutely.
It's a veteran team, and they are playing with a lot of confidence.
Well, and their pitching will be well set up, too, because they haven't used a lot of arms.
Exactly. Great point. Full count. Colton Bush staying alive. Only one hit, and maybe even bigger, 2 errors for Nebraska today. To left field, Rogan, 1 out.
That's a big, big first out here in the 8th inning.
You see the pitch count there on your screen, just 94. He has gone much deeper than that in the games. Drew Gillen is the batter. Popped it up. Oh my goodness, no catch. No catch. That was going to be a tough play, and the center fielder Cole Carter, who has a lot of speed, almost got there.
Well, it was one of those balls right in between them, and I think they both thought the other one was going to get it. That was Cowden and Carter. And as you can see, they both kind of hesitated for a brief second. Had Carter kept coming, that would have been his ball. But I think he saw Cowden, he slowed down a little bit.
That's hit number 2 of the day. Those insurance runs in the bottom of the 7th are looming large. Ryan Beer, the batter, the number 9 hitter, struck out his last time up. And he's behind 0-2 here. Beer looking for his first hit here in Shelby. Did not have a hit yesterday.
Coggins trying to get Beer to, as they say, go up the ladder chasing that fastball. He wouldn't bite on it.
Count a ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Beer, the center fielder. Right at 100 pitches now for Coggins.
Look for something off speed here.
Just does get out of play.
Beer is doing what he needs to do here, Mike. He's making Coggins throw pitches, and he's battling him. Uncharacteristically, that pitch was up. That was a breaking ball that Coggins wanted down, but he got it up in the zone.
And sometimes that's a signal you may be tiring just a little bit. Now over 100 pitches. Good effort by Eric Carlson to catch up to that. Was not able to do it.
Now, one of the things that Beer is doing by making Coggins throw all these pitches, he's seen all of his pitches. He's seen the breaking ball, and he's seen the sinker. So he's making Coggins work hard to get him out. This is a real battle here.
You can tell opening up a little on that curve. It's staying up high.
Yeah, he's laboring, and there's going to be action down in the bullpen again.
Well, that bullpen is ready. Again, it stays high, 3-2.
Well, this could be potentially the last pitch of the game for Cody Coggins if he gives him a free pass.
You saw Aaron Hutchinson down in the bullpen. Right-hander has been up a couple of times today. Another base hit. 2 in the inning. Just 3 in the game, and with 1 out, the potential tying run will be coming to the plate.
I just heard a fan yell out, that was a great at-bat, too, meaning.
And this might be all for Cody Coggins as Nate Maben is coming out to the mound. He's given up 2 hits in a row to the 8 and 9 hitters for Nebraska. Top of the order, Calvin Rudolph is due up with 1 out and runners at first and second.
I was mentioning that fan yelling out, great hit to Beer, and it certainly was. He battled Coggins. That was a battle of 2 warriors there, and Beer ended up getting the best of him. Well, it looks like he's going to keep him in, Mike.
Coggins at 105 pitches will stay. Those light blue shirts you just saw there, those are the folks from South Carolina. Already starting to arrive. Anticipation of this game tonight against Michigan.
Yeah, this place will be shaking at the rafters in that game. They're shaking here for this one right now.
Calvin Rudolph, the leadoff hitter, takes strike 1. He's got a big opportunity. Rudolph's grounded to short, grounded to second, and struck out. Hit it on the nose. Right to the Oregon center fielder, Cole Carter. And they're 2 down. That was a big out. Because one of the hottest hitters for Nebraska over the last couple of weeks, Jared Rinkin, is the batter.
Well, Rudolph gave it a shot. He hit, like you said, right on the nose, but unfortunately he hit it right to center field.
Again, Coggins leaves it high. Rinkin at the plate, headed to Iowa Central Community College next year. Just graduated from high school this past spring. what a chance he has here. Yeah, Coggins not near as comfortable on the mound as he was an inning or two ago, and the tank may be getting a little towards E right now.
Yeah, he's laboring.
So I would expect this might be his last inning. There's a strike. Rinkin a couple of hits in the game yesterday for Nebraska. The tough loss to Hawaii. Ripped to right field, base hit. Run will score. But a great throw from the right fielder, Jared Evans. But not enough to get the runner. Gillen scores the first run of the game for Nebraska. It's 3-1, and as we've said, this is a 9-inning game. This game is not over.
Ball out over the middle of the plate. It was up in the zone. Slapped to right field, like you said. A strong throw home. It went all the way through. It wasn't cut, which in hindsight might have been too bad for Medford because the runner coming around second slipped, and if they had cut that ball, they might have had a shot at getting that runner.
And that is going to be all for Coggins because the hottest hitter on this Nebraska team, Nate Millard, is due up. There are 2 outs. There are 2 on. But Millard at the plate represents the go-ahead run. As Nebraska threatening to have a big inning here with 2 outs in the 8th. New pitcher is on. What a game for Coggins. Just ran out of gas here in the 8th. Nice hand for him. We'll be back and tell you about the new Medford, Oregon pitcher in just a moment. There's Cody Coggins went 7 2/3, gave up 4 hits, a run. It was earned. Walked 2, struck out 6, threw 111 pitches. The new pitcher on is Aaron Hutchinson, 5'9", 185-pounder, graduated high school this past spring, and he'll be called on to get 1 out right here. There are 2 on and a tough hitter at the plate.
Hutchinson was 1-0 in the regionals, 9 innings pitched, gave up 2 runs. 82-83 on his fastball, throws a 2-seamer into righties and a 4-seamer for his strikeout pitch.
And again, this is a tough hitter, Millard, who has a big opportunity. Up until the 7th inning, Millard had the only hit of the game that came in the 1st inning. All-state catcher in high school. And Hutchinson quickly ahead, 0-2. Beers got a lot of speed down at second base. So almost any kind of a base hit's going to get a run home. Rinkin is on at first. Coggins tired, and the bats came to life for Nebraska a bit here in the top of the 8th inning. There's a balk called on Hutchinson, and what a difference this makes, because now, Darbs, a base hit could tie this game.
Absolutely. That is a monumental mistake by Aaron Hutchinson. It looks like he double clutched there, which is the reason for the balk call. Now, coming in to talk to him is Micah Brown. He's probably saying to him, hey, look, no big deal. We're going to take another look at it. He looks over, well, it was right at the end there, but I think what he did is he moved a little bit, then stopped, then looked back again. So we'll see where that takes us, but that could cause, that could be very costly.
Great hitter, and that might get through. Knocked down, a run will score. It's 3-2. Here comes the run home. They've got him in a rundown. And they tag him out. I don't know what was going on there. Trying to force something to happen. They did get a run in. But the rundown gets Jared Rinken.
A running mistake by Rinken. Here's the rundown again. You see they chase him back, and obviously they get him there in the rundown. But a huge mistake there by Rinken.
Oregon still leads, and the main reason why is another good defensive play by Tate Cowden. He's had several in this series so far. This was big.
Here's the key play right there. By keeping the ball from going through, then they were able to get the runner rounding third. And they were able to get him in the rundown for the third out, keeping that tying run from scoring. So a huge play there by the middle infielder.
And I really think that Rinken thought that ball had gone through is the reason he made that turn and trying to come home.
Absolutely. So right there, Tate Cowden and Micah Brown made a key defensive play.
New pitcher on for Nebraska, Jake Barica. Big right-hander.
3.86 ERA in the regionals, 1-0. Had a complete game victory in the regionals, so he's certainly a veteran of postseason play.
And he'll be charged with keeping this score right here, 3-2. Westfall, high hopper, going to be a long throw from the hole. Got it. What a nice throw by Calvin Rudolph, who had to go deep in the hole to make that play.
This was a great play. Had to make a very, very strong throw. Set, plant, throw, and just got him. Boy, that was a strong arm right there by Calvin Rudolph.
Designated hitter Steen Fredrickson, the batter. 0 for 3, grounded into a double play, flown out to center field, pop up to the second baseman.
That was a big first out because right now the momentum shift had been to Nebraska. And if Oregon will be able to get that lead run on, then that shifts that momentum again.
Counts even, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Fredrickson. We're late in the game, bottom of the 8th inning. Popped up, stays in play, and Millard, the catcher, makes the catch, 2 down.
Oh, that was a good pitch by Barrique. Jammed that fastball in on him. Got him right on the fist.
Number 9 hitter in the order, due up now for Medford, Oregon, Cole Carter. He does not have a hit today. He's flown to right, struck out, and flown out to center field. He has made contact. Swing and a miss at the fastball. Looking ahead to the 9th, it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Nebraska. Pauly, Cornell, and Ewer. And it's Pauly calling for it and making the catch. 3-2 at the end of the 8th. Nebraska needs a run in the top of the 9th to keep this game alive. Another great game here in the American Legion World Series. Drama here in the 9th. Last night, Nebraska lost to Hawaii by a run, 5-4. They need a run here to keep this game alive, and Garen Pauly is the batter. Pauly, ground ball foul. Now, Pauly has been very, very cold. He has only had 3 hits in his last 30 at-bats.
Might tell you, though, that he's due.
Might. Hutchinson misses a ball and a strike. All you want now if you're Nebraska is a base runner. I'll tell you what, this Nebraska team that came here to Shelby, first time ever for this post in the World Series, and they have competed. Cowden makes the play. 1 down. Now the batter will be Ryan Cornell. Cornell's flown to right, struck out, and he walked his last time up. Oh, you gotta, Darbs, how tough would this be if Nebraska fights this hard and has 2? Although that's a base hit to right field. Tying run is aboard. Base hit by Ryan Cornell.
Well, to answer your question, it'd be a real tough loss. However, it doesn't mean that they're out. You know, they would still be alive.
There's a lot of fight in this Nebraska team, eh? Greg Gary told us about it. We're going to get a pinch runner here as they need a run. The batter is Ewer. Ewer does not have a hit today, but did hit the ball well last night. Popped it up. Hutchinson makes the play. And Nebraska down to their final out.
Hutchinson took one quick look at Savala, who said, "It's yours, man." There was no doubt that was going to be caught by Aaron Hutchinson.
Now, if there's one guy with pop in his bat who could get this ball out of here, it's the guy at the plate. Ground ball. Throw to first. In time, ball game. This team from Medford, Oregon has made a statement here in Shelby. They've beaten Brooklawn by a run. They've beaten Nebraska by a run. And Jim Darby, they're now 2-0 with the win at 3-2.
Well, they put themselves in a great position here, Mike, and they have played very tough, but you got to hand it to the Nebraska team. They played a tough game, too.
They did, but indeed they are 0-2. Two heartbreaking one-run losses and two exhilarating one-run wins for this team from Medford, Oregon. And that is the team that folks now here in Shelby are talking about from this division. They're in the driver's seat. They determined their destiny with a great, great win. Well, this is game 2 of the day here in Shelby, and game 3, Midland, Michigan, which looked very good in their game against Connecticut. And this will be the first game for the team from Newberry, South Carolina. We'll see them. There's going to be a huge crowd. We hope you'll join us 7:30 tonight for the team from Michigan and the team from Newberry, South Carolina. Watch a replay of this game. We invite you to log on to watchespn.com. It has been a great day here so far. A couple of great games. Expected another one here tonight. For Jim Darby, I'm Mike Hogwood. We'll say so long for now from the American Legion World Series in Shelby. See you tonight at 7:30 for another great game.